A best of three starting on Inferno with NiP on the terrorist side and NaVi on the counter-terrorist side. So I hope you guys are ready to make a little bit of noise because this is going to be a very, very important pistol round. Might set the tone for this entire match. Flamey at top banana, and C's actually already falling back as they do sense that no one was really rushing the B bomb side. They want to make sure that they've got the coverage over at A, which right now they don't. 3 people and 5 from NiP rushing in. They're going to go for it, but Edwards, nice shutdown, dropping Get Right. Forest gets 1 in return, but Guardian's still alive inside. He's going to get the 1 kill. Zeus goes down. Guardian looking for a shot. Threat is dropped, and now Freiburg, he's isolated in the pit in a 1-on-3. They just have to not challenge him, and they'll be fine.
Yep, now it's all pretty much wrapped up for NaVi, although C's does get dropped low. He's down to 6 HP. Headshot comes in from Freiburg. And now this is possible with that P2K. If he hits the headshot on Flamey as well, C's is so very low. There's not a whole lot going on, but Flamey, he's going to catch Freiburg trying to find the angle. And that will be the pistol round going NaVi's way on the CT side of Inferno. So exactly the start that NaVi we're looking for here.
I mean, that was not a bad call for NiP. You rush a bomb site with 3 people in, you should be able to trade effectively so that the only 2 people left really are the 2 and Beetle. At least you should have a 2-on-2, right? That just didn't work out. So, second round coming up, and NiP without a bomb plant, they're going to go for Tech 9s mostly. Some grenades here, 2 smokes as well. Could definitely be a setup eventually for a sort of B execute. You know, those 2 smokes helping out, smoking off coils, smoking off towards CT spawn, giving you a bit of an opening.
I love that Guardian, he goes for the buy, but in case you guys saw the money, he's sitting on $1,000 still. So he goes for a little bit of a buy, but he's still prioritizing the AWP to really wreck NiP when he gets into the 4th round, because he's perfectly capable of bringing the sniper rifle to bear on this map. Boom, that base in this, whoa, the Tech 9 base in here is crazy.
Oh, turn it up. Turn it up. I like that. I can't wait for an AWP to be picked up now.
Right? Come on, Guardian, keep going.
It's going to be exciting. Well, the bomb is all the way back towards the T slope outside of the apartment. So really, NiP just desperately wish that someone from NaVi would make some sort of mistake. That would definitely help out. You know, anyone sort of peeking aggressively, you could tell right now.
That poor chicken.
That poor chicken. Well, you
Don't
can tell
take
right
it out
now.
on the chicken.
You can tell right now that they're really very, very defensive on the NaVi side, right? They're not giving up any edge here to NiP. No one's going to get caught off guard, it seems.
And right about now is when NaVi are going to start peeking around. We see Zeus work his way up onto short. Guardian, he peeks at Arch, doesn't see anything, and he's starting to cheat his way over towards that B site. And NiP, they're all gathered here. The incendiary is ready to go as well. 35 seconds left, and he gets chucked down. And this is all on C's now with that MP9. Holds up close, and he's going to barely be able to spray down Threat. It's all about the anti-flashes, and NiP can't achieve anything in this round. They just get completely slapped down.
I mean, a minor detail, really, but it's kind of cool that they're throwing the Molotov that far up, because what a lot of teams will do is they'll have the guy throwing the Molotov is also the guy peeking, so he tends to sort of throw it down almost as they're running over it, so it really has no impact. That Molotov was definitely very annoying for NiP. I'm wondering if they shouldn't just continue to try and run in towards CT spawn at that point in time, just forget about that B-bomb site, but no chance really. I think the counter flashes coming out were also quite good for NaVi. So 3rd round coming up, and not a lot of upgrading going on the NaVi side. They're gonna keep it cool right now, and you can see Guardian now 4,500. He's gonna have so much money for the upcoming AWP buy.
Exactly, with all 5 players surviving the last round, that's huge for NaVi and their bank. Basically, you know, the nightmare start here for NiP. The last thing they want is NaVi having a strong economy going into this CT side. And Guardian takes the peek, picks up 1, but Forrest is there to trade. Zeus gets overwhelmed, but it's just turning into a blender in mid. And Edward, he's going to cap it all off with a beautiful headshot. It's all on Forrest now. He's got the UMP in a 1v3, but he's not going to find the spray down.
He got the last kill on Seized actually in the background, which is important. That's 2 kills, 1 of them with the UMP. That's 5,000 for Forrest. That's going to give him another, you know, a Molotov somewhere. Could definitely help out a bit. And there's that AWP being picked up by Guardian. So let's see if that is indeed going to have an impact here. 4th round coming up, and this is one of the critical ones. If you are on the CT side of Inferno and you win the pistol and the 4th round, that's when you start to feel. That's when you start to feel really, really safe and good. See, AKs all around for the NiP team. Forrest with just a single Molotov here. And that could set up a bit of like, Get Right actually has one as well. And it allows them to check some corners, including the one that Flamey's in. So, first one's going to be used to check apartments. Get Right actually just running right past, so maybe a little bit scary there. A little bit of miscommunication, perhaps.
Oh, wow. Definitely a little bit of miscommunication there. They're just peeking together. getting a little antsy, but they know how much is riding on this round. It is so important for NiP to pick up their first rifle round and stop NaVi short here. They cannot allow NaVi to develop further than this. They need to slow down that CT economy as well. So NiP, I mean, just now that smoke is starting to clear up at bottom. Banana Guardian has still not been challenged. He goes so far as to actually full peek all the way down into bottom mid. He's going to say, nobody's here in Banana guys. So definitely keep the 4 on A that NaVi have established so far. And with a minute left on this clock, there's plenty of NiP. I mean, there's plenty of time here for NiP to maneuver.
This is just a very, very scary situation right now for the NiP team, as they might be pushing into a bit of a crossfire there. There's Guardian getting a tag in on threat, which is definitely a good start.
I love that he goes for the wall bang as well. That's some map knowledge right there. With the AWP, if somebody was trying to hide behind the pillars of the man that he had legged, was trying to hide behind the pillars, that could have been brutal. But now it's going to be all on NiP here as they try and push onto this A site. 4 players are still here for NaVi. Their read is impeccable, and the shots are too. Edward, Zeus picking up the first 2 kills, and as they come out of apartments, they get completely slammed. Get right in Freiburg are the last 2, and they somehow bring it back, only to have the rotation come through for NaVi. And everything falls short for the Ninjas in the end. 4-0, and the economy is still going to be pretty decent here for NaVi.
Well, 5th round coming up, and again, NaVi cementing the CT side. And here's where the trouble really begins, because NaVi in the first sort of 3 rounds, the challenge they have is they'll definitely have the smokes, they'll have the armor and the rifles, but they won't have too many Molotovs, right? As they start to go later into this game and they start to sort of build more of an economy, they can keep buying reliably Molotovs as well, and that's gonna whittle so much time off the clock for NiP. It'll be very hard for them to actually get into a bomb site. Even with the increased time, you've got to eventually make up your mind. And NaVi, they've never been superstars at saving grenades on this map, but they are improving. I'm noticing every once in a while. So things are gonna get rough for NiP.
And we're seeing the versatility, rather, in the NaVi defense here. As they just, I mean, they're rotating Guardian all over the place. He's on B the last round. Now he's over on A, going for that peek in mid just to get some information, just to keep NiP guessing. He can't allow them to figure out his pattern. So long as as he keeps bouncing around on the map, NiP are going to have an issue. And well, Edward just holds his own in pit. 2, 3, could he get 4? He might be able to. He's looking for the headshot. He's going to get it. Get right is down. Quad kill for Edward. And 4 players survive for NaVi. So as far as NiP are concerned, that is not good enough in a round that they still invested a little bit of money in.
Right, and you mentioned the versatility. Edward's also being a little bit annoying over by that apartments exit, because he keeps either holding a sort of quad. This time he's in pit. He's got to notice if he ends up inside the A bomb site as well. It's going to be hard for NiP to guess exactly where he is. I would love to see them go for like a classic execute though, where they sort of smoke off pit, try and see if they can wrap around quad and into the A bomb site. Like, I don't want to see NiP sort of throw anything too drastic out there right now, but maybe some apartments and quad play there. I think that could be a strong focus here. But now NaVi have switched up even further and actually put Guardian on this side of the map, so they don't even necessarily know where the sniper is going to be at this point in time.
Yeah, he's changed it. 3rd option in the books. And they've been very consistent with taking control of apartments and NiP, so it makes sense for Guardian to be up here waiting for somebody to join him. But it's going to be the flash through mid, and they are going to take the fight straight to Edward, who's actually crouched in the corner. Zeus is going to draw attention to himself, and it's Edward just slaughtering them. 30 kills, well, 33 kills for him. And then Guardian missing the shot on to get right, but he gets the follow-up. Forrest doing the best that he can, but he's in a 1v4, and Guardian not going to let him get out in one piece.
Well, all right then.
They go for the Fnatic flash. I mean, they are trying to make it happen at NiP, you know, trying to change up the timings. That smoke is up, doesn't matter. They try and flash their way through, just no fear, jump in, try and catch somebody out from NaVi. But that positioning from Zeus and Edward just completely shut them down.
You would have liked to have seen a similar strat executed, but where they check that corner with a Molotov, right? Just because that's also a common play right now. NiP, they've lost 6 rounds in a row. That means they have a pretty good round loss bonus, about 3,400 per round loss, plus whatever they have in the max. So they could buy quite a lot here, and this time they're going a bit more aggressive at top Banana, and actually you might be catching Zeus in the corner here, going for a bit of an early fight. Zeus going to win the first time. Freiburg, he sprays down 1, and now they've got Zeus. They should be able to kill him. He's trapped in that corner, and Exist will follow up, but then comes Flamey and Edward charging down the middle. What a chaotic round here. Grenade follow up and Exist. He doesn't actually get tagged by it. Flamey taking the fight, almost hitting the shot. The Molotov follow up. Exist. He can't get out of this corner. And where his backup Forrest is miles away. Now it's a 1v2 with all the minute left, and the bomb is still near T-spawn. This is not a normal round on Inferno.
Guardian is ruthless, man. He just ran through Flamey's Molotov to get that kill as well. No chance at all for Exist. Blocked behind the car. But Forrest, he's gonna have a barbecue, and he's not gonna allow Flamey to get out. There we go. 1v1 now between two legends. And there's so much time left on this clock as well. 50 seconds for Forrest to make up his mind as to where he wants to take this. Guardian, he's actually taken a risk. He's pushed all the way through Banana, and now he's gonna get into mid. He might be in position here to catch Forrest if Forrest lags behind, and there it is.
Oh, that's a shot he needs to hit. That was a big opening, and the fact is, NaVi have an incredible amount of money right now. They simply have to win this round NiP. Otherwise, I'm not sure if they can even realistically force an eco for sort of the rest of this half. It's going to be so hard anyway. He does manage to get past the middle. Guardian is up there, so if he shows himself, that could be scary. But now he's got a clear run into the bomb site. Forrest, he has a smoke as well. He's going to use it for CT spawn, so that means he can't use it later on, obviously. And he picked up a Molotov along the way. That could be huge. Guardian is quite far away. Even with the increased bomb time, he's going to have some distance. It's about good 17 seconds or something like that for him to run here. This is going to be a bit scary. He's not going to check any corners. That might actually cut down the time some. And we'll see if he can make it. Grenade in once, and Forrest in construction, ready and waiting. He's got the one kill. He needs another one. He's sneaking up behind. Guardian, no clue. And Forrest comes in with a spray. And that's going to be NiP winning their first round here. A good clutch and a classic little wink from Forrest.
Yeah, that's the huge kind of win. They can actually turn everything around here for NiP. They need those kinds of clutch rounds to go their way because that's going to give confidence to the rest of the team. That can get them fired up. And right now, Threat kind of needs it. He's 1, 2, and 7. Only 2 kills picked up for Exist. I mean, they're all low single digits, and that's just not good enough. So, Forrest, this might be the moment that changes everything here for NiP. As you pointed out, Navi's economy just so strong. They can full buy and full buy again behind it. So, it's not going to be any easy. There aren't going to be any easy rounds here for NiP anytime soon. But look at this. Forrest, he decides to change it up, go for the AWP. Zeus caught out by Get Right, loses the duel. That can't happen, but Flamey's there to remove Threat from top Banana. Threat kind of sacking himself just to see if he can actually get anything going up there, but nobody was in position to back him up, it looks like. So we just returned to a 4-on-4 at this point.
It's a bit of a shame that they lost Threat right afterwards, because that opening kill definitely could help them out. You can see now we are trying to keep NiP on edge, just making sure that if they want map control, they have to check all the corners. They may even have to use a lot of grenades for it. Oh, Exist actually getting that shot up on the wood stack there, just looking over. And we were watching Forrest, and it looked like he had the dead angle as well. Now we have a really tough choice to make. Do they want to? They're going for the 1-2 stack here, and oh, Edward going to get the refrag, so that helps them out so much.
But there's a smoke. Finally, Flamey, he just decides, need to put this down, need to start slowing things down, because if they get that kill on the one side, NiP might have tried to just, you know, pounce on that B site, get in there quickly. Now with this smoke down, it allows for NiP to get up to top Banana very safely, and now they're just going to be able to get that CT smoke down and just go rushing through. Forrest is the only one with any utility here, so we'll see if he actually elects to put that flash in. But the rotation, this is taking so long now that NaVi, as soon as this push comes through, we already see him in position. Edward, he's got that flash to put into pit, and that could slow everything down here for NiP.
This is going to be enough, though. Flash comes through. Flamey from inside the bomb site, the one to hit that shot. They're trying to rotate back, but there is a big problem here. And that's Guardian still on the site, and he has been such a terror so far. Look at the clock as well. 8 seconds. They need to get in here. Freiburg has no idea. Guardian is right there. He's looking the wrong way. He's going to go down. I don't know if the bomb is in time right now. NiP, they're going to get it in the last second. And that's going to be Flamey now trying to retake 1-on-2. This could not have got any closer. Guardian had no clue they're walking up behind there. And Flamey in a very tough 1-on-2. He's got 30 health. He's going to try and make a run for it. Instead, he wants to save the rifle here. NiP, 2 in a row. And the money, well, actually, Zeus has got $0. So Flamey's going to be dropping this rifle for Zeus. Now we can still make a buy. NiP, they need that 3rd round. 3 in a row, and then they will be able to finally force NaVi to eco.
Yeah, then they actually get the ball rolling for themselves. I'm really surprised that Guardian, he wasn't hearing the footsteps. Perhaps couldn't count how many people were actually coming up behind him. He hears footsteps arch, so he's probably thinking, okay, I stick on short, that guy's going to slow down behind me. But no, at that point, NiP, they realize they just don't have the time to go for any subtlety. Guardian outplayed himself a little bit, I think. So unfortunate turn of events there for him. He might just be feeling a little frustrated. But he's got 8 kills so far, so I mean, he is hitting his shots, Guardian. This is just going to be brushed off, and now they can move into the next round, the 9th round here in the first half, where NaVi, they still sit on 6 rounds.
I mean, our analysts, before we got into the game, were pointing out NaVi isn't really a team that choke and sort of crumble under the pressure. So even with NiP winning 2 rounds in a row, I think you're right. Then it's not going to be like any kind of problems early on here for the NaVi team.
Oh, this is how they're changing it up. One thing that's nice to see here from NaVi is that every time, each of these rounds, they're going for a different CT setup. This time around, Zeus has been boosted, so that's going to change things up a little bit here. Means that if NiP try and go for that Fnatic flash through the smoke, trying to take control of top T, they can get shot from 2 different angles.
And Edward, we were pointing this out just a little while ago, the variance in the setup over here. This time we got 3 people towards quad side and Guardian to get the first, but they don't even know that Edward is still up here, so this is going to make things really tough to boost over by quad. Guardian taking a second shot. Forest, I mean, both Forest and Get with a lot of confidence to peek that corner, but just not quick enough to catch up with Guardian, it seems. And now the rest. When you're a man or 2 down, B is definitely the more attractive bomb site. Exist, trying to see if he could find an angle, maybe looking over into the wood stacks there. Not giving a target just yet. Threat actually picks up a kill on Guardian there, and Exist, are they going to check the corner? Flame is right there and almost winning the fight as Exist, but it's not going to be quite close enough. And Freiburg and Threat, this would be a miracle round if they could bring it back into 2-on-4 with just 35 seconds left.
Yeah, and the flash is already set up here by Flamey, so as soon as Seas peeks out, it might not be that effective. Freiburg might have gotten past it now. Threat coming in, however, he's going to get spotted. There's the flash going out. Freiburg turns away. Now he knows where Flamey is, and he hits the headshot. Could get the second as well, but seized. He holds the line at coils, and it's all on Threat now. 1v3. 18 seconds left, and he's just trying to get the plant. He's hoping that Molotov will hold him at bay, but it's not going to do it in the end. And Seized will get control of the situation. 7-2 for NaVi, and the run there that was starting to develop, well, NiP, they stumble, they tripped.
Now, I mean, I appreciate the Threat's trying to get the bomb. I think that makes the most sense.
Sure, he wants that bonus money.
It wouldn't have been the difference between them buying or not. Just to say that the sort of the lack of money here wouldn't have decided anything. It would just have helped them out a little bit. Maybe someone would have bought a deagle somewhere. 7-2 being the current scoreline, and we do have what seems like a timeout, and it could well be a tactical timeout here for NiP.
It is.
Just to put some perspective on what sort of the balance is on this map, if you're a new viewer and you're wondering, is NiP about to lose the whole game? Probably not. It's 7-2 right now, and that is a good lead for NaVi. If NiP could force an eco within the sort of the next couple of, obviously they're going to be ecoing themselves here, so that'll make life tough, but it's still possible. I think if NiP can get up to 5 rounds on this first half, we still have an interesting game on our hands.
Yes.
If they can get 6, I think then they're going to be celebrating. But right now, that would be a stretch, wouldn't it? That would be hard for them to reach.
It would be a huge victory for them to get there because they didn't get the pistol, they didn't get the strong start that they were hoping for. It's all uphill for them. And now what's worse is that they were so close to forcing NaVi to eco. Had they managed to win that round, it would have put NaVi onto some kind of quasi-buy with a couple of pistols. Instead, now NiP, they've given NaVi the chance to reestablish their economy and keep having all the nades necessary to shut them out of these bomb sites to make life very difficult for NiP. Because that's what it's all about on Inferno. On this map in particular, you have a lot of choke points that the terrorists, they have to go through to get to the bomb sites. And so the incendiary nades that the CT side have and the smokes, they just block those off so neatly. If NaVi have all of the money to just keep buying these round after round after round, NiP, they're just never going to have all of the time necessary to really set their strats up. That's why they go for the risky plays like flashing through the smoke. Unfortunately, the last time they tried to do that on A, they got shut down completely by Edward, but it seems like they're going to have to keep going for that. They're going to have to keep taking risks to try and break NaVi open here.
I mean, right now they need to win some battles. They need to win some of these entries. They were doing a pretty good job over at B. That worked out well. If they could do that at the beginning of the round before Forest and Get Right go down, because obviously they themselves were fighting and challenging over by quad in the beginning of that round. But if they just could entry on B the way they did this round at the end of it, that's fine. They probably win the round. So yeah, maybe they should go back to that and think, all right, if we can get entry frags on B, then let's keep going there, because A does not seem to be working out right now.
No, the struggle, and well, I'm just curious to see. Oh, Guardian is coming back to A. I was wondering if he was going to change things up and head over towards the B side. He might do that in the next round. Perhaps sensing that, NiP, they might try and go for that B play. But NaVi have been doing a very good job of delaying the B take coming in from NiP as well. That banana control, NaVi have kept pretty good control of it so far. They get the aggressive smoke down at the bottom of it again this round, and they've got both rifles there as well. But NaVi have to have an idea of the NiP economy right now. They have to know that they're dealing with an anti-eco, which is why Guardian, he even has the M4. He's just like, okay, no off in this position. I'm actually going to get that incendiary down, go for the peek behind you, and completely wreck your day. More kills? Nope, I guess overhype. Oops.
I mean, he did a lot of damage there, and the Molotov certainly forcing him to run the other way. They're still being just completely ground out here. No chance to escape. They made it into CT spawn, which, if they had rifles and everything else, that would be beautiful, but that's not going to be the case. Now we're looking at an 8-2 scoreline here, and the NiP I think they have to win this round. Otherwise, NaVi, again, they build up too much of an economy. They're never going to be forced to eco, and it's just going to be all ugly from here. So let's see if they finally decide to head for that B bomb side at the beginning of the round and look for some fights. I mean, they had Zeus isolated that one round by the sandbags as well. If they can get into situations like that, it's definitely a good idea. NaVi might be thinking the same thing, because they got 3 men stacked over there right now, all of them ready to try and deal with anything. NiP already setting up for a sort of slow approach as they got the bomb way far back.
Yeah, again, with that aggressive smoke. And the problem is that with that smoke going down, it's always that guessing game for NiP. Are they putting 3 behind there? 1, 2, they never really know. And so it's a huge risk to go through it. You could be just staring down the barrels of 2 extra M4s. So NiP, instead, they're going through the motions at this point. You know, they're just saying, okay, well, that smoke goes down. We're going to wait it out eventually. You know, with this extra 10 seconds in the round, eventually the smoke will clear. So let's take advantage of that, get control of the rest of the map, and then we'll come back to Banana later. And they haven't really seen anybody, it looks like, over here for NiP. And Guardian's still on the M4 as well. So at least they don't have to worry about that threat.
Yeah, they're not going to be running into the AWP right now, but Guardian is just a lethal player no matter what. That's the problem with him. He's just going to continue anyway. Trying to see if they can make that entry work. They spot one guy now. Guardian being isolated behind the pillar there, but he gets a kill anyway on Forrest, and the rest of the team, they can't follow it up because that smoke being in the middle of it, they would have to find inside the smoke or sort of at the edge of it. That just doesn't work out. And somehow Guardian gets to live with 19 health. That probably shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that really shouldn't have happened, actually. Probably the perfect flash. I mean, there was a good flash to come out and, you know, get Guardian out of dodge. Zeus just straight up manhandles Get Right. And now you have 3 players left here for NiP, and they're just going to have to commit fully to this B site. There's no other option. And all NaVi have to do, they're just baiting them in. Sees with the crossfire, he's going to be up on spools, and then Flamey behind new boxes. There aren't a whole lot of options here from NiP. They just have to run forward and get the headshots. Flamey takes out Threat, but Freiberg removes him. 8 seconds left. Can he get to the bomb in time? Yes, he can, but it's a 1v3. And now NaVi, they don't even need to rush things. They choose to go for it, but they could have played it safe as well and just, you know, run him down.
Freiberg with a good triple kill in that round. And again, I have to just sort of reiterate, B bomb side just seems to be much better for them right now. They keep losing a couple of members before they try it, and that means by the time they get it, it is too late. I mean, now we have 2 members there. If they tried to push that earlier on, they would have had Flamey alone up there. So, I mean, yeah, that smoke at bottom Banana, it certainly makes it tricky to push. It doesn't make it impossible, you know.
It's true, it's true. You're just having to go for that gamble. You're just saying, okay, you know, we're going to go through this. And the problem is what we just saw at mid, right? If something goes wrong, it seems, NiP are falling into old patterns of just not committing to the push. That's a real issue. But this time around, sometimes you see this with teams as well. When they have pistols, they have a little bit less fear in them. They just decide to actually, you know, the plan is run, so we do it because we have pistols, we have nothing to lose. And they're just taking the fight straight up in mid. Freiberg, he hits the headshot on Guardian. He gets the Pondig in action. And
Edward is quite low. If he had gone down, that would have been a straight line into the A-bomb site. Obviously, we could tell NiP, they don't quite know that. And Edward running actually for the smoke. That's a bit dangerous. He was making a lot of footsteps then, and he only has 15 health. Now it's Seized taking this position instead, and he is much more equipped to take care of business here. It's going to be Freiberg and Forrest left. And I mean, in spite of some really good damage being done, I don't think it's going to be enough in a round like this.
They need to be careful, NaVi, not to fall into that trap where they get overconfident, where everything is going their way. It's just like Edward standing out there. Even a deagle will rip your head off, right? So you need to be you still need to be careful, even against an eco in CSGO. And so for Edward to just stand out there and be like brazzing about it, and I'm just going to take this fight. Those kinds of risks can come back to bite NaVi. Those are the kinds of things that can actually allow NiP a window to get back into this game. So they need to keep cool and keep control of their mindset here, NaVi, and not throw away this chance to just completely crush NiP out of this first half.
God, it'd be good for NiP right now if they could get 1 more kill. If you look at the NaVi economy after the round, it'd be quite important. If they've got 2 members that are low, if NiP can get a 3rd kill here, then there is still a chance to shut NaVi out of the economic game. But they do need a 3rd kill, otherwise it's not going to work out. Zeus gets the 1, and Zeus in the corner, there's Freiberg. That is a huge frag coming through. If he can even get the bomb plant, that's going to secure them so much more money. And Freiberg actually manages to do it. Deagle in hand, looking for the headshot. Seized will shut him down, and that was a predictable outcome, but still, that's very, very important, right? They kill 3 members. They get the bomb plant down. That's the $800 bonus. And because this is going to be the 4th round that they, so the fourth round that they lose in a row.
Wow!
Yeah, they're trying to get the AWP off the roof here. Edward trying to shoot it off. That's interesting.
Okay. Is he going to be... Oh! He got it at the end.
He got it at the end. He had that HE grenade.
Nice try, nice try. But it's not going to happen. And in the end, I mean, looking at the kills right now, there's a couple of players, you know, we're not seeing that key 1-2 combination punch coming out of NiP right now. Forrest is at 7, but Get Right, he's only at the 4. And we got the NiP chat. Wait.
Yeah, I think it is the NiP chant, as far as I can tell. 15 kills on Edward, Guardian on 13, the scoreline being 10-2 in favor of NaVi. Flamey isolated behind the sandbags up here. That's a bit dangerous. He's got Seized inside. He's flashed out once, and Seized doesn't have a second flashbang just yet, so they've got to be a bit careful here. And actually, they're going to double down on the aggression. I think NaVi might be taking a little bit of a risk here. But NiP, I think they need the last 3 rounds in a row, and that's not impossible. Again, the money for NaVi is just not that good. If they win 2 rounds in a row here, they probably get the 3rd for free. So there is an outside chance still. Let's see. I've been saying this for a while now. Push that B-bomb side. Get the same trades that you were earlier and see if you can't make it work. Now, the problem is there is a 3rd man rotating in. They need it to be just 2. Seized in the corner here. Flashes are great coming out. Seized gets the 1 kill in. Can they finally isolate him? It is a double, and Flamey spraying down 2, and Threat now all alone in a 1-on-3. The defense just too much for NaVi here. And NiP not trading like they did previous rounds. Threat gonna try and wrap around, but he goes down to Zeus and NaVi. They make it 11-2. What a powerful first half it's been already. And it might not be over just yet.
No, NiP won off this wild ride, Anders. But unfortunately, they're only like halfway through the roller coaster. And then the cart kind of got stuck there, right? And they're just hanging upside down. You
can tell the problem as well. Get Right is first in. He gets flashed and dies. So he cannot even communicate to his teammates that Seized is in the corner. He has no way of knowing it, right? So Seized is allowed to get the 2nd kill before they finally realize, all right, he's actually right behind us. So that kind of thing makes a big difference, just not being able to tell your teammates where the opponent actually is. 14th round is coming up here. And so far, it's been all NaVi all the way. And that is such a dirty peek as well. Guardian coming in and taking out Get Right.
Yeah, that's just what's brutal now, because they're going to have all the confidence NaVi to go for those risky plays. They don't care. They've got 11 rounds on the board at this point. If it goes 11-4, it's more than enough for them to get the job done in the next half. So just keep applying the pressure. Do not let it up on NiP. Whereas NiP now, it's Threat, Forrest, and Exist, the last 3 alive. They do have a good nade count. They can still try and go for some kind of play here, but they haven't had any luck on either site. Nothing to build any confidence off of. They're just like, go to A site, get wrecked by Guardian. Go to B site, Flamey's there. It's not panning out at all.
Flashes go through. Guardian full flash, but they're not pushing while he is. He misses the shot. Exist going to take down 1, but Zeus with a blind spray right through is going to connect with 1 kill. Still a 2-on-4. They've got the time for it here, but they need to win some really good battles right now, and Zeus is not letting them. He's going to get the other kill in, and Threat very low as well on health. And in a 1-on-4, best he could do right now is maybe try and steal a rifle for the end of the round, but he's going to end up going down, and Seized will get that frag. 12-2.
And
wow.
Do they save the op for Guardian? They don't save. Well, I mean, he's got the money for it, so it's not the end of the world.
They don't care. Not anymore.
All AKs.
Edward,
all nades.
Edward, Guardian, Flamey. I mean, everybody right now is doing really well. And now there's not a single person that's lacking behind. On the other team, Freiburg has been having a very good game. He's got 12 kills here. Forrest on 7 and Exist on 5. And then Get Right and Threat very low on the scoreboard right now. They don't have a lot to show for it.
No, they're really struggling. Threat, you can tell, just not able to go toe-to-toe with the members of NaVi the way he was with Maus yesterday. It's just a completely different level at this point. And Exist, he's just getting full flashed, gunned down by Flamey, no mercy there. Threat, he's looking for the headshot, he's holding the angle, but the timing doesn't work, and Flamey wins that duel as well. Once again, we find ourselves very early on here with NiP down 2 players and soon a 3rd, except that Flamey actually runs out of bullets. Finally, something works for NiP.
And again, it's Freiburg coming up with some good kills here. Second one going through as well on Guardian.
3-on-3.
I feel like NiP have shown that they have some tools in the toolbox here. They're not using them very well. If Freiburg can get entries like these, then why hasn't he been allowed to get more of them in the beginning of the round? They keep putting Get Right in first.
And he right now.
Yeah, and he hasn't been getting many entries either. Let's Get Right going down to Seized, and it seems like it's going to start or end pretty much the way it started here. Forrest going down and Freiburg all alone with 14 kills, considering that they're 10 rounds behind. That is impressive, but it doesn't really make a difference in the overall scoreline, obviously. And in a 1-on-3 with about 19 health, that I think it's pretty much done here. 30 seconds left as well. He's got so little time to work with.
No, that's the main issue here. Although NiP, I mean, there is still a chance just because NaVi have elected to split up. But then the man holding B, Zeus, is in such an off angle that it's just not going to work for Friberg. What a performance from NaVi. I mean, clearly the analysts are on point right now saying that this team is favored to take the whole thing because
they said they could.
They don't look like they're under threat at any point in time.
They could make a clear run into the grand finals and maybe even win that. I mean, it's not looking too far off right now. It is a best of 3 and it's the first map, but it's also the map that NiP picked. They're on the less favored side. We have seen comebacks from 13-2 on Inferno, but I would say that it's few and as far between them, especially at this level. You don't just easily make this comeback work.
There was a time when NiP could do it.
Yeah,
can they do it today?
It's a time where they could almost reliably do it.
Yeah, where it was just like fated that they were unbeatable.
That time is 3 years ago. You know?
Nearing 4 years ago, yes.
So it's getting just a little bit scary for them. But, so, okay, until it gets real close, the comeback is going to be sort of, even in our minds, a little bit distant. That doesn't mean that there's nothing to gain for NiP the remainder of this map here, right? You don't want to go into a second map feeling that you never even sort of really got into the game. So if NiP, say they end up losing this game, you know, 16-10, then at least they will have had sort of 10 rounds to prove to themselves, and I guess everyone else too, that they actually can, you know, do something in this game. Obviously, if they lose the pistol round, then yeah, then the second map will essentially be sort of just as cold as the first one, right? They won't have had any real time to sort of warm up properly and feel like they could do this.
No, and NaVi, it's NaVi's pick, the next map, and it's Mirage. We've seen NiP struggle on it as well. So this is all just stacking up on top of NiP, really. Just all these thoughts are going through their heads right now. They're trying to keep that little voice from pestering them, but the reality is it's not looking too good here. But I mean, there's always a chance. NiP, they've done it before. That's what they're telling themselves as well right now. We've done this in the past, boys. It's time to bring it back. It's time to figure it out. And Friberg has just been delivering a monster performance so far, at least as far as NiP are concerned. He's still sitting at 14 frags, but that's double what the runner-up has. You know, Forest, Get Right, they need to wake up. They're so far behind right now compared to Friberg. Whereas everybody on NaVi are just across the board hitting their shots, all in the mid-teens, looking fantastic right now. So the countdown has begun to get into the second half. Pistol round. NaVi now switching over to the T side. NiP, can they withstand the push? Can they actually hold them off?
Well, we will be finding out. It is the 16th round coming up here. Pistols in their hands again, and we're going to see if they can find a way through. Forest is already gone down. That's Flamey with the opening frag now. They're rushing onto the A-bomb side, and if Threat goes down as well, this is going to be horrible. There is a lot of backup coming in here all the way up middle. Threat hitting a great shot and taking out Edward, but the bomb has been planted, and now it's into a 4-on-4. Threat out in the open taking that fight. No fear at all on him, it seems. This retake had better work for NiP because it's their only chance to make any kind of a mark on Inferno. And there's Get Right executing Guardian up in apartments. That's a good start. They need a lot more, though. That bomb is ticking in sight. They need to get it and defuse it as well. Friberg is going down. It's into a 3-on-3. Seized in the pit, trying to stay alive. Threat getting Flamey kill. He's doing so much work right now. So's going to go down. It's all on Seized. Can he stop this? They are going to try and see if they can get him killed before they worry about the bomb. And there's Get Right. There will be enough time. And NiP, they pick up the pistol round. With Threat picking up a double and Get Right doing the same.
There we go. Crowd starting to get hype a little bit here. NiP giving them hope. I mean, it's necessary. And Threat shows up big. Basically, he nearly doubled his frag count going into that. After that round, so there we go. 2 kills, all of them key, all of them crucial. Very nice catch on the flank that was coming around towards Arch from NaVi. The rest of NaVi, you know, just all sitting on that site. But then that allowed for NiP to stop focusing, or to not worry about the backstab coming in. They could just focus on taking over the bomb site and getting that bomb defused. And so a successful pistol round here for NiP. Now we have to see, are they going to be able to follow it up?
Well, there's a bit of a scare here because we've got 4 Deagles in play from the NaVi side, and they have some of the best Deagle players in the world as well. You've got to be really scared right now if you're NiP once you realize what's coming your way. Friberg actually playing an off angle here, and they aren't able to sort of, you know, peek into it, crouch in, because there's no way to know that he's going to be right there.
I'm just curious, man. This is the CIS Deagle buy. 4 Deags. With the likes of Flamey, Guardian on the team as well. Like, these guys, they hit shots, and Guardian, he's got the angle! Threat, brave enough to hang around with that P90, and he nearly drops Guardian. He might get the second chance here. Threat doing big damage, dropping Seized low as well.
I'm not sure if they spotted out Exist, but if they know he's in that corner, it's obviously a lot less effective. Threat and Exist really got to be careful here. Exist showing himself now, they know for sure. And Threat going to try and clean it up there. Good double spray as Guardian and Flamey both go down. Zeus and Edward are going to be left. There is no armor on NaVi, so you've got to sort of factor that in as well, that these SMGs that are on NiP, they are a lot more effective.
That's just going to help.
Yeah, definitely will.
Zeus is like, thanks. Now I can pick up the bomb for free. Unfortunately, Edward decides to step out into the open, hoping to catch somebody out of position, it seems, and that's just not going to work. Zeus is now alone. 30 seconds left on this clock, and all he wants is to achieve that bomb plant. And if he can get the Deagle headshot in, it could happen, but Forrest is going to find him in the end with the UMP. Trades up for the Deag, and a 4th round on the board here for NiP, which is exactly how it's supposed to play out as far as they're concerned. NaVi, because of the bomb plant and the pistol, will be able to pick up the rifles, but they're so very low on utility. A couple of smokes picked up, a handful of flashes. Flamey and Guardian just going straight AK Kevlar. So they're looking for the aim fight. They're just spoiling for it at this point.
Threat picking up that P90 again. I was worried for a second there. Did a lot of Molotovs on NiP, so you could tell they're already sort of trying to see if they can buy a lot of time. They know that NaVi are probably going to be a very slow team here on the terrorist side, as they usually are. So if they just count on that and save their smokes and Molotovs until, you know, the first sort of 30 seconds at least have gone by, then maybe they will still be able to try and lock them out of some bomb sites. And you can tell NiP, they really haven't used a lot of the grenades just yet.
Timing couldn't be worse. And is Get-Right going to be able to pull this off? Decides to get in, and there we go. Some teamwork being shown by NiP. They have the nades. Make use of them. Freiburg setting up Get-Right for that peek into top banana with the flash behind him. But now NaVi, because they're so limited on utility, they have to be very careful with how they take these positions. Can't really afford to commit a flash. They don't have an incendiary to clear out sandbags. And so it comes down to, I mean, Zeus just trying to bait a reaction out, actually. Trying to see, is somebody going to get, you know, a little greedy, take that extra step that would open it up for him to be able to get the shot.
But they're doing a very good job right now in NiP. 50 seconds left. They've just put up another smoke, but they have all 5 Molotovs intact. One of them just being put out there. So they're really saving these grenades, which is what you have to do playing against NaVi, who now have a lot of mid-control. And that means they can execute pretty much all over the map, because NiP won't have a lot of idea what's going on. Oh, he heard the tink from that shot, and Edward, easy follow-up from that. That was a random guess. You can even tell he did a little bit of a double take then. Saying, was that a helmet that I just heard through?
That was perfect.
But now look at NaVi. They're going to try and see if they can get into this bomb site. There are no more Molotovs here. Guardian with a very important kill, shutting out Exist, but the push is going to happen with about 13 seconds left. This is a classic NaVi. Freiburg free-firing, taking down Flamey. 8 seconds, Freiburg with the second kill. He really is playing a fantastic game right now. He's got the pistol out, looking for the shot. Freiburg with a triple, and now it's down to Guardian all alone, and he has to run away. There's no time. Wow.
What a performance from Freiburg.
He's tied for the top frags with Flamey. 17 kills.
Oh, yeah, there we go. He's nearly doubling. I mean, again, he's keeping ahead of the rest of his teammates. The team, you know, the rest of his team need to catch up here, because Freiburg, he has not given up. He's putting everything into this match to keep his team alive in this first map of this best-of-3 quarterfinal. And NaVi, well, quasi-buy for them, Kevlar, a couple of pistols, and then just trying to play off of Guardian's AK, and he's just showing no fear at all. He's like, okay, I've got the rifle, I'm going to get something done with it. Goes charging straight up mid. HE's there to greet him, but it hardly does any damage at all. And now can he find Threat? And there it is. The peek, but it's not quite going to connect. Instead, Exist shuts him down. Edward was close enough to recover the AK, though, and he actually just tags Threat through the wall.
Oh, Exist doing a very good job. Look at that. All 4 kills. Finally, they shut him down, but you've got to believe that they're going to be rallying behind Freiburg right now. He's not supposed to be the guy carrying the team. So when he does, it should get everyone else fired up and should get the atmosphere running. And you could bet you they could hear those chants as well. Freiburg to end the round, 13-6 right here. NaVi were allowed to have a 6-round sort of run in the beginning of their CT side before NiP chimed in with the only 2 rounds that they got. And right now it's been 4 in a row for NiP, so we'll see. It's still way too early to sort of get too excited. NaVi played this terrorist half very well. They're one of the most exciting teams in the world to watch on this T side of Inferno.
This will be the test, and he just can't get up to the AWP Guardian. Whatever he does, goes for the force buy, it doesn't work, and now he's just stuck on a Tech 9 and a couple of nades. He wants that op. On the T side, he's so effective. But there are the flashes to apply some pressure on mid, and NaVi going through the motions. And as I say that seized, catches Get Right completely out of position. It's like, see, you know, Get Right, you're gonna play my position? I'm the one who crouches behind car. I'm the one who gets kills from there. Don't think so.
But look at that kind of an entry. How many rounds did NiP do that when they had all 5 members alive? They got it when they had already lost 2, and then it's not really gonna make that big of a difference here. So that's what they needed right now, NaVi. They've got so much time to figure out where they want to go. And that is also, that's just the weak, sort of the downside of NiP saving all their grenades, is that Seized could just walk in and get that kill. He doesn't have to walk for a smoke. There's really nothing there to stop him. So NaVi quick with the adjustment to try and sort of counter what NiP are trying to do here.
Right now, it's just waiting. They're setting up. Flamey's there to watch to make sure that that nobody's going to be pushing on, but the smokes are going to go out. Bomb is going to rotate back towards Banana. Exactly. They've already got top Banana control, and now this is all about just throwing the fake, throwing a wrench of things here for NiP. It's going to pull somebody out of position. That's Threat rotating back to Speedway, and Freiburg's now alone on that B site. If they can get a kill, that would be even better. And Zeus and Flamey, they're just annihilating the A defense. Forrest has been smoked off a position, but it's down to Threat and Forrest now, and they're trying to rotate in. Threat actually wins the duel, but then gets shut down by Seized, and it's all on Forrest now, 1v3. And he's just hoping to get lucky and catch somebody out here, because otherwise it's just not going to happen. There are so many angles that he has to worry about coming into this position. We saw it earlier with Guardian. Now Forrest finds himself in the same kind of situation.
Well, with that kind of opening, Edward is miles away. Forrest can actually get this kill on Seized, then he would have had enough time for the defuse. He doesn't have a kit or anything, or he does have a kit, but he doesn't have a smoke grenade, so maybe if he just tries to hold it down, Seized waiting on the angle. Molotov is right there. Forrest trying to get it. Oh, he actually dies to his own grenade. Forrest trying to go for the fight here, but now there's no time. He has to hold it in, and on the other side, Edward is there trying to go for it. Oh, it's going to be NaVi picking up the 14th round, but that is seconds away.
Oh, wow. He's just like, well, that incendiary might not have been the best choice there in case Forrest was trying to push him down. Obviously, that's what he's thinking, but then it ends up working against him. Forrest, he played that perfectly, as best he could. But in a 1v2 like that, Edward manages to make it there in time and saves the day.
Imagine if he had had a smoke left still.
Ah.
That would have been a very, very interesting situation. Well, going into the 21st round, the scoreline is 14-6 in favor of NaVi right now. And NiP, they can buy, and they have bought, including an auto sniper on Get Right here. So they're using the full arsenal right now. They want to make sure that this is as far as NaVi gets. If they can take 10 rounds in a row, it definitely won't be easy. But it's not impossible.
This is some old school OG Get Right coming out with the Scar 20. I've got to love to see that. Changing it up, but he's going to get that smoke down now. And NiP are electing to play pretty far back on the site. So NaVi, they'll have all of this part of the map locked down and ready to go fairly soon here. C's just keeping an eye on things for the meantime. And over on A, same story. I mean, NaVi, like right now, NiP are allowing NaVi to just get full control of everything. And that's not really what you want to do with NaVi. Once they have map control, they're so good at crisp, clean executes and just getting everything to fall into place so nicely. It takes, you know, huge plays from Freiburg, right? Individual talent to come to the fore to stop that kind of execute coming into a site and just rolling over you.
I'm really wondering about Get Right's position right now. All the way in the back there, is the auto sniper really going to be useful from this position? Sure, if they boost up like he's expecting, but if they get into the bomb site, and they are walking in right now, he's looking for the shot here. You can see a couple of faces. Well, there's the 1 kill. That's a good start here, but they're challenging him. They're fighting him. They're not scared. Get Right. Oh, he gets all 3 kills. Looking for one to cross. It's Get Right shutting it down, and it's 14-7.
There you go. He's even shaking his head. He's like, I don't even know how it does it. Where was Freiburg in that? Yeah, Freiburg rotating over to Coils. That was the important bit. They kept having to deal with him because they hadn't even found Freiburg yet. It's not until it's over. What a beautiful hold coming in from Get Right that made all of the difference. And we've got...
You would think, even at some point, you'd think that someone from NaVi would say, well, we have grenades, you know? Let's just grenade that back corner. Molotov, Smoke, HE, doesn't really matter. Any one of them would have put Get Right in a horrible position, but they have the confidence, and maybe a little bit too much of it, decided to run right into the Get Right meat grinder, and it's going to be a little bit of an interesting position here. I mean, that's a single round from NaVi on the second half, and now they're sort of economically reset, and as a result, it's a direct response. They go for the pistol buy up here. They got a lot of smokes. They're going to try and see if they can just get that entry on the A-bomb side here, and then just train right through.
I'm not a huge fan of this, to be frank. Just because you have so many rounds to work with on NaVi's side, you have such a lead, you can afford to even eat a double eco and make sure that you have full nades and everything you need going into the next round. What NaVi are counting on right now is just being able to get this execute underway and cross their fingers and hope to get the bomb plant to get that bonus money.
Well, they used all the grenades. They smoked off a huge part of the bomb site. Seas is falling back with the bomb. So, I mean, if they can actually lure NiP out here, this might be working out. They could get a bomb plant in. It's a good trade so far for NiP with Threat coming up with a double kill. Guardian looking for a shot on Forest, but even that Deagle's not going to be quite enough. And get right, he's so ready for it here, looking for the auto sniper, but somehow the P250 is just going to best him this time around. That's a bit unfortunate. Bomb goes down. Seas picks up the auto sniper. Now he's in the back lines with a 1-on-3. They still should not be doable. They have so many grenades. Well, they have a couple of grenades left, enough that they should be able to zone it out here, but you never know. He's looking to get the early fight in here. Spots one guy jumping past, but they're getting dangerously close, and he's out of the open, and Forest will take him out. And that's going to be another round here. 14-8 going to be the scoreline. They will obviously save that that auto sniper. How much further? Freiburg still leading the charge on NiP with 18 kills, which is the exact same as Edward. And also Flamey has.
And now the rest of NiP are starting to close that gap as well. They're all up into double digits. You have to give it to Seas, though. Runs into Get Right and wins with the P250. When that same Scar 20 had wrecked his team in the round before.
It all helps, and again, we do want to reiterate for any newcomers, any new viewers out there that haven't watched the game too much, if you get the bomb plant on the terrorist side, even if you lose the round, which they just did, everybody on the team still gets an $800 bonus. Now, if you're going to be playing as many rounds as maybe we will be here, that all stacks up. If you get a couple of bomb plants in, it's another round where you can buy all the rifles. It all adds up in the end, and that's all NaVi are thinking right now. We need as many buy rounds as we can, and fewer pistol rounds than what we're having right now, or just eco rounds as we call them. Forest going to be picking up one kill. Guardian going down as well, and seems like there's no issue here. Forest just having a grand old time up in the apartments.
Yeah, he's hearing those footsteps coming in. That allows him to just get that timing down pat. And it's going to be down to Seas now. Once again, all by his lonesome. Odds of him getting the bomb plant now that the bomb has been dropped out in the open, not too high. And with no Kevlar, it's not going to work for him either when he gets tagged up by Forest. So 9 rounds on the board now for NiP, who are just slowly grinding them out one after another. But finally, Guardian has his AWP. Just enough money to go glass cannon. But the rest of NaVi is still so very light on nades. That's the main concern. Is just if with these force mines, they're always going to be limited with the nade count. They have they have 4 smokes, great, but 2 flashes to work with to crack into a site. It's not a lot.
But what they also have is the AWP on Guardian, and this is scary for NiP. If they take the wrong fight at the wrong time here, he could definitely entry them and get right. All the way at the top here. Auto Sniper versus AWP. If that ends up happening, that could be a little bit risky. Grenade rains in, and it's an easy double shot. Seas never stood a chance. Hiding in the corner there is existent threat. He's going to go down. Guardian opening up the arch side of middle. Now walking in, actually turning his back there. That could be horrible. Just going to get Molotov away. But if Exist had been in a little bit of a better angle, that would have probably been a kill on Guardian.
If he hadn't been throwing that nade, 100% a kill. Exist is going to be like bashing his desk right now because he had the Guardian dead to rights if he wasn't throwing that incendiary. And now it comes down to Get Right moving into position once again. They've changed it up, they've rotated it around, and he's going to get the headshot onto Zeus to start it off. So a man advantage once again for NiP on the CT side. And Edward, he's just hoping that he can actually find somebody here, but NiP, they don't need to play forward anymore. They've got the man advantage, they've got time working for them. They have the utility advantage as well, but Get Right decides to peek, and Guardian is waiting for him, and it's a fair trade in mid once again for NaVi.
Forest, he's way out in the open. I thought maybe he was down in the pit, but that open position, it only works when he's got another teammate there. Now, Freiburg, he's going to be put to the test here. He's been playing out of this world so far, but this might be the most important round yet. He's going to try and walk in here, crouches through. Edward is right there, and already he's been spotted, so that position being given up, and the Molotov going out is going to make his life so much tougher. NaVi, maybe a little bit hungry to peek here. They don't really need to. They could just fall back and wait for him to come in. Don't want to give him any kind of an edge. Flashbang in once, and Freiburg trying to move up, but he's going to go down to Edward. Solid defense being put out by NaVi, and a solid round from Guardian with those 2 kills. That's going to make it map point 15-9 here. NaVi now just a single round away, and NiP would need to win 6 rounds in a row here to get into overtime, which is possible, I would say.
It is possible on CT side Inferno. It is possible, especially because they had such a strong economy. They can go right back into buying all of the nades necessary to shut down portions of the map. The only issue here is that NaVi were able to save Guardian's AWP, and this time he even has Kevlar, so he's going to be even more open to taking fights because he can afford to take a couple of hits while he lines up his shot. NaVi, though, they do have a higher nade count this time around, and Threat is the one on the AWP for the Ninjas. Interesting choice here. Forrest, he's been so good with the rifle, you can understand it. But the flying peek straight up from Guardian, and this time he catches out Zeus.
That was a little bit risky, but Edward, he's going to get the refrag at least. And we'll wonder, Threat, could he really make a difference for us? Walking up behind, Spray not connecting, he gets the kill, but that could have been much quicker. And now Threat on the angle, Get Right showing out to help up. The other two members of NaVi trying to make it out the middle of the Threat, caught in the open, and he's going to be going down. There's plenty of time left here. Get Right with a nice flash, they almost line up for him. That could have been a great double. And now it's Freiburg versus Edward. It's the same battle that we had last round, and Edward won it. This time, it's going to have to be Freiburg, or this map is going to be all done with. Freiburg has a lot more grenades, though, and Edward, he's up on the box right there. Freiburg putting in the 1, second Molotov to follow up here. Edward in a very, very good angle. Freiburg not going to be expecting it. He walks in, he does see it, he sprays, but Edward closes it out, and NaVi are going to be taking away Inferno 16-9.
Oh, that's painful, and I'm glad we got to see the reaction there from Freiburg. He knows he had to be so close to landing that shot. And a big win coming in for NaVi to start things off. NiP showing that they still had some fight in them, and this actually bodes well for the next map. They were, at least it wasn't just a crushing defeat. They were still able to get a few rounds on the board, start to get warmed up a little bit. So that's definitely going to be feeling a little bit better for NiP going into the second map. But NaVi, they did what they came to do. They win on NiP's map pick, and now they're going into Mirage, which is their turf.
Oh man, you gotta wonder what would happen if they had had just a little bit more, a few more rounds to play with or anything like that. It didn't turn out in that way. We are gonna be going into the second map, which is Mirage. But we'll be back after a quick commercial break here with the first quarterfinals.